I'm now coming to you from the Ray Family Alumni Room at Jeffrey Hall. There's George Ray right up there. Here, right here, is a photo of outgoing number 7, George Ray, welcoming incoming number 7, Jack Jeffrey. This was taken in 2001 at the convention in Eugene, Oregon, where I hope to God we are next year. Both George and Jack were members of the class of 1954, and they knew one another as undergrads, although they went to different schools. George was at Wesleyan, like where his father started, and Jack was at Williams, where all of the Jeffreys have all the Jeffrey Chi Psis have gone. Chi Psi is a tradition in both the Ray and Jeffrey families. There have been 5 Ray Chi Psis, and George's grandson will likely be in the class of 2025, although the school is still to be determined. And there have been 11 Jeffrey Chi Psis. And with the family as big as it is, we hope that number is going to grow in time. Jack's sister, Jill, is a great friend to Chi Psi, and I hope Jill's watching. It's been my honor and privilege to get to know Jill and to visit her whenever I get the chance. There's a Jeffrey cousin who's not a Chi Psi that lives in Nashville that you may have heard of, and he's going to offer a musical performance next. Jill made a financial contribution to his favorite charitable cause to make this possible, and we thank Jill very much. Ketch Secor is fiddler and frontman for the Grammy-winning band Old Crow Medicine Show. He became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 2013 and is featured prominently in the 2019 Ken Burns documentary, Country Music. You have likely heard his song, Wagon Wheel, which he co-wrote with Bob Dylan. Ketch, thank you so much for this. Enjoy.
Hey, everybody. It's the 179th celebration of Chi Psi, and I'm your host for this portion of the broadcast, Ketch Secor, really kicking it off Chi Psi style with... Wait, that's not how you kick off a party. Hold on a second. Now that's more like it. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm so glad to be with you. I'm your host, Ketch Secor. Why am I your host? I didn't go to college, and I'm not a Chi Psi. But my great cousin Jack and so many others of the Jeffrey clan have been helpful to the Chi Psis for years around the country. And so they've elected me to do my best to replicate a real-life gathering of friends, a circling of wagons and of tribes coming together to support the spirit of the Chi Psi. Now, we don't have the opportunity to meet together in person. However, from here in Nashville, Tennessee, heck, this might as well be Boulder. Is everyone wishing they were in Boulder right now? I know I was. Hush now. Oh, those Chi Psi classics. When will they stop recording such beautiful tunes as Chi Psi Marching Song or Made of Chi Psi? And who can forget the merry songs of old Chi Psi? Well, I've got everything I need for a big Chi Psi tour down memory lane. I've got my Chi Psi story featuring famous Chi Psis as 114th President Stanley and distinguished convention member Alex S. Bard, and also who can forget Stan Burge, top-notch company at both Amherst and Wisconsin. Anyhow, I've also brought my 1915 edition of Chi Psi songs, full of classics like Meandering and As We Journey Through Life. So many thoughtful titles. And who can forget 1893's Chi Psi songbook, where such Chi Psi Forever could be followed by Oh, Who Can Forget Alpha Nu and the Naughty Chi Psi Maid. Ooh. All right. It's a Chi Psi tour down memory lane. I've got my Chi Psi whiskey bottle and all my accoutrements. This is our geography section, music, literature, and Shakespearean drama. We're all joining together because we can't be that close to one another. But from a safe 6-foot distance, you and I can be close as Chi Psi ever was. Now, before we move on to the next portion, I wanted to read a note from our friend, Mr. Jack Jeffrey. He writes, Dear Sam, because my friend Sam Bessie is the reason that I got put up for this. Dear Sam, here is something for your history files. It is being donated by my cousin, Peter Mykrantz, Theta of 52. You might send him a thank you note. Now that's good development right there, Sam Bessie. And he writes and signs his letter, Yours in the bonds, Jack. Well, I know we're all in the bonds tonight, although instead of in the bonds, we wish we were in Boulder. But we can't be in Boulder. So we're in the bonds, and I'm coming to you live from Nashville. If we were in Boulder, you know we'd all be hearing some of the great Rocky Mountain High tunes and tonalities that make singing, making music in Colorado such a splendid thing. So I brought the Rocky Mountains to you in this live stream broadcast. Because if you go to Colorado and you don't hear a John Denver song, you never went to Colorado. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like a mountain in springtime, like a walk in the rain. Dance with me now. Like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Well, that's all right and everything, but I think the Chi Psis know how to do it even better. So let's do one of those classic Chi Psi tunes that made Chi Psi famous. Everybody sing along at home and sway side to side. In this college town, there's a merry crowd of jolly good-natured boys who dwell on the hill in the Chi Psi Lodge where they make a joyful noise. They sing the songs of old Chi Psi, their love for Alpha Deer, raise their praise to the very sky, who praise sing loud and clear. For oh, Chi Psi, our heart's delight, we love her more than the tongue can tell, and sing of her every night. All right, are you dancing at home? Ready? We love to grind and sing and play. We love the ladies here. We love the ancient faculty and alma mater dear. But more than all, we love Chi Psi, for our hearts they overflow. We're the fairest child of Wesleyan. And don't forget Williams. Let the love still warmer glow. For oh, Chi Psi, our heart's delight. We love her more than the tongue can tell, and sing of her every night. Did they seriously write a third verse for the song? All right, everybody sing! Then let's all raise and shout and sing and pledge affection true. Our joyous notes let echoes ring. We'll warm our hearts anew. We'll pledge our friendship once again to our fondest love, Chi Psi. Thy praise each brother's voice shall sing. From now until we die, for oh, Chi Psi, our heart's delight. We love her more than the tongue can tell, and sing of her every night. Were you singing at home? Woo-hoo! Well, how about that, folks? What a bundle of energy that Chi Psi music is. Now, we've got something really special for you. As you all know, that founded in 1841, Chi Psi was the first fraternity to have a lodge or a house at the University of Michigan, home of the world famous Wolverines. So in the early part of the last century, some of our friends at the Chi Psi Lodge made this wonderful film that captures some of the earliest days of Chi Psi that I know everyone's going to want to sing. So let's all take a gander at this, and let's roll that tape of archival Chi Psi footage. can tell why they called it the Roaring 20s, y'all. What a big old time they were having with Chi Psi back in the day. Hey, let's go see what's happening at the lodge right now. Let's go on over here to Boulder, Colorado, home of the Alpha Psi Delta and Joe Hughes. Come on, let's take a gander. Hey, let's take a look and see what's going on in the lodge here in Boulder, Colorado, home of the Alpha Psi Delta and Joe Hughes. Here, let's crank up some of the music that makes those Chi Psis really go to it. The garrulous activity of the Chi Psis. Look how they all flock around one another, cavorting, willing to help and serve. Yes, Boulder, Colorado's Alpha Psi Delta Chi Psis and Joe Hughes sure know a thing about teamwork. Hey, but let's take a look and see what some other Chi Psis are doing elsewhere in our nation. How about up in Madison, Wisconsin, home of Alpha Iota and the Hawk? Let's see. Those Chi Psis really know a thing or two about tunneling deep into earthen materials and substrate. They know how to protect their queen at Madison, Wisconsin's Chi Psi, home of Alpha Iota and the Hawk. But what about other Chi Psis around the nation? Let's see what they're up to down in Athens, GA, home of Alpha Alpha Delta and Yogi. Oh, look at those Chi Psis looking out for one another, peering above any potential danger, and always knowing when to revel and when to cavort. Well, it sure has been fun having this little tour of all the Chi Psis around the country. But let's head back up to the lodge in Boulder and see if we can't say a farewell to one and all. Well, how about that, folks? Those rambunctious, those garrulous, wild-sided boys over there at Chi Psi. Who can believe the fun that they're up to up at the lodge tonight? Well, I wish we were all together, but here from our safe and comfortable 6-foot distance, we can celebrate Chi Psi because Chi Psi is not just out there, it's here in our hearts, because yours in the bonds is ours in the bonds. We're all in the bonds tonight. So thanks for having me be a part of this broadcast. I'm Ketch Secor, coming to you loud and proud, a Jeffrey cousin and a supporter of Chi Psi, from my friend Sam Bessie and all of us in Nashville to all of you all around the world. Let's close out with this famous number by the founder of Chi Psi and great patriarch, Philip Spencer. Oh, it's here's to Philip Spencer, who am about to die, when sinking down beneath the wave, loud shouted out, Chi Psi. So fill your glasses to the brim and drink with manly pride. Humanity received a blow when Philip Spencer's died. Oh, it's here's to those of greater fame, martyrs of Alpha Psi. They loved the name, they died in flame, they rescued their Chi Psi. So fill your glasses to the brim and drink with manly pride. Humanity received a blow when Philip Spencer died. Fill every beaker up, my boys, with the rosy wine filled high. For now we've drunk to thee and thine, let's drink to old Chi Psi. So fill your glasses to the brim and drink with manly pride. Humanity received a blow when Philip Spencer died. And when our feast is ended and the stars are in the sky, we'll all go tumbling off to bed, each jolly old Chi Psi. So fill your glasses to the brim and drink with manly pride. Humanity received a blow when Philip Spencer died. Yours in the bond. Woo!
Thanks again, Ketch. That was just wonderful. And next time, I hope we can have you in person at a live Chi Psi event. Wouldn't that be fun?